Brytknee. Calligula. Callidora. Katie. Karen. Choose your character. Cadence. Brytknee. Calligula. Callidora. Katie. Karen. Cadence. Brytknee. Calligula. Hello there. Good evening. So, as it turns out, the USB portion of my audio interface cut out. But we're all better now. Presumably I'll be able to hear things again.
Hello there.
Hello there. All right, so you guys are going to have some lo-fi. I, on the other hand... Oh, why am I in the center? I fixed it, Frog. There's no need to be concerned. I, on the other hand, am going to be listening to my music. Let's see here. Audio application can capture. Oh, that's a little quiet. There you are. No Tangia sound for you all. Yes, that's to be expected, Frog God. Due to my dual audio splitting right now, you guys will have Tangia audio, or no Tangia audio, rather. You have my sincere apologies, Dr. Doom, but... Oh, that's very loud. But as it would happen, there's simply no way for me to reasonably do that. Oh, my mic doesn't stretch as far as I need it to. So we are mostly going to be working right here. This is my tracking. Turn it up a little. There we go. All right, so this is what we're going to be making. Wow, look at it. I listen to a lot of very old music. This is just my worktop surface, Julian. This is just my worktop surface, all right? It's meant to get messy. It's meant to get pockmarked and ruined. It's small. So the first thing you're going to want to do when attempting to craft stained glass is print out 2 copies of this. One of them you keep nice, the other you cut out. So as you can see, I did that already. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I was careful to go through and, we are fond of thighs, to label everything with the color DB for dark blue. I forgot my tape. I forgot my tape, chat. We need tape. We need tape. Oh, I did, however, borrow Miss Harper's skirt, as you can see. So I'm going to set you guys down and go fetch some tape. I'll be right back, please. Don't nobody go nowhere. And we're back. So you'll have to pardon me for not properly greeting you all, but I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Julian Hang, Dr. Doom, and Frog God. Welcome in. You guys are doing well. I myself am doing quite well. Been reading all day mostly. All right. Webcam mounted once more on our headband. Let's get started. Let's go ahead and get started. So we have our tape now. I'm actually going to try to do this color first. Come on, focus. Focus. There we are. So I'm going to try and do this color first as it's the smallest piece. That's probably the opposite of how I should work, but oh well. So we search through our magical bag for this right here that says BL on it. Now what could BL mean? Other than, of course, boys love. As I'm certain Miss Harper would be oh so eager to remind you of. Yes, Froggood. That is the reference I made. Go ahead and move this down. BL stands for black, as that is the color of glass we're working with. This is actually nice lo-fi. I can hear it in the background behind my music. It's nice. So the first thing we do is go ahead and tape our pattern to said piece of glass. And for darker colors like this, my headphones are very... Give me some slack. There we are. Now I'm not straining my neck. So we tape it down. And with darker colors, we want to use a white glass pen. Basically what this is a paint marker. So, ooh, I love the song. You can go ahead and make these marks on a darker piece of glass and still have them show up. Obviously, there's still a little bit up and down from where we taped it, but that's fine. Oh, the snakes simply don't hear anything, Dr. Doom. I can already feel my neck hurting, and I've been streaming for 10 minutes. Oh, this is going to be one of those streams, but I'm excited for it. Then we take our trusty glass cutter, and we're going to go ahead and I'm not sure if you guys can hear the sound. That was a pretty low, quiet noise. So then, once we have it scored, I personally like the noise. We take our pliers and just gently snap it off, just like that. We should be wearing safety glasses, but they're all the way over there. So, as you can tell, we messed up. It broke in half. Let's try again. What's that, Dr. Doom? We wipe off unsuccessfully our pain. Ah, thank you for the hydration redeem. Oh, actually, one moment. I'm going to go get my safety glasses and something else. Something else for you all, chat. No, I would never do such a thing, God. But let me ask you something. What is a Greek without Anthros? See, my father's on one side and the other, my mother. So let's go ahead and fill our drinking. Where is it is. I'm trying very hard not to show you the other of the streamer desk. There we are. So, unfortunately, we will not be filling this with wine today. Just plenty of water. I've cut myself plenty of we will take a seat to drink. Is that better? Now that I've sat down, is the audio more clear, or is it still an issue? Looking at the levels, I believe the issue was I was being too quiet, so you have my apologies for that. Go ahead and put the drinking vessel by the power outlet. That's always a good idea. The audio is still an issue, is it? All right, let me check something without turning my head too much. Open sound settings, manage sound devices, device properties. Our audio is still at 100. Seems okay now. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right, so let's go ahead and retrace this. It's very difficult to pick up. Smile from afar. I apologize. I don't want to sing along to my music, but I find it difficult not to, especially considering you all can't hear it. I would hate to sing along to it. In fact, I was warned that it might be a bit odd with me humming along while you guys listen to lo-fi, but I don't want to get copyright stricken. If my pitch is good enough that I can get DMCA'd by my humming, I will consider that a victory. Stricken is the proper term, Frog God, at least as far as I'm aware. So again, we just need to go ahead and trace our little shape here. And this time we put on less tape, so we're holding it down with our other thumb while we work. Perfect, it is indeed picking up. It's not perfect, but you guys can see. There we are. Remove it. Sing, you coward. I don't want to be DMCA'd. Alright, so we'll cut the smaller side off first. I think that was our issue. That doesn't seem right. That curve is way too intense. Yeah, no, that's not correct. Alright, let's try again on the opposite corner. Glass cutting is an art more so than a science. But that's alright. It's alright, we have all of the time in the world. Although I will say, I don't know if I should tell you all, but Miss Harper is planning a surprise for you guys after stream. Hope you all are excited. Surprise may be overstating it, but she has something planned for you all. It keeps wiping the paint off. Hate using paint. We're actually going to try to cut it with the paper. Never mind. Alright, so small side first. Uh, all right. Now we compare it. It's not perfect, obviously. But what we can do is come in with our pliers. And break off little bits. If you take a look at the pliers, one end is designed for breaking cleanly. The other is for shearing off things slowly, a little bit at a time, to make it match your glass a bit more. There's also, of course, a proper glass grinder, but that's a bit more of a setup. All right. See, we're getting there. We're getting there, chat. Would I recommend this profession? No, I just messed this up again. Welcome back to the Black Glass. It doesn't seem to be treating me very well today. So we'll return to it. Let's reach into our magic bag, and our next color is... Come on, give me the mic. DG for dark green. Now, we have two dark greens here, but they're both the same color. Oh, actually, this one seems to be a bit lighter. So this must be our dark green. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and look through this to find all of our dark green, one moment. All right, to find all of our dark green pieces so we can get them all put on at the same time. It's actually not a bad idea to go ahead and sort through all of your pieces once you begin work and sort them by color. So here's neutral green. Here's P for pink, neutral green, LG for light green, DB for dark blue, another dark green, LG for more light green, LB for light blue. So we have a lot of little pieces, as you can see. I'm not looking forward to it. But sometimes in life, that's what you need to do. What does this say? DG. Anyway, how are we all doing today? I myself am doing quite well. As I mentioned, I was, DB. I was reading before stream and quite enjoying my story. It's a familiar story, but I'm quite fond of it nonetheless. Miss Harper was reading her dragon books, so I thought, why not go ahead and read something I enjoy? With that in mind, I started once more through the Odyssey. I'm quite fond of it. Odysseus... I do wish I had the opportunity to meet Odysseus at some point. I did meet Circe, however. That was quite nice. I believe she was flirting with me. In hindsight, at the time, I wasn't really aware of lesbians. But in hindsight, I do believe she was flirting with me. Let's see, LG. Actually, Miss Harper reminds me quite a bit. Oh, I should clarify. Cadence reminds me quite a bit of Circe. as they are both Miss Harper. Oh, gee. All right, that is all of our colors sorted, so we're going to set them aside and work on them later. If we have the space on our desk. M. What is M? Or W? Ah, W. I. All right, so we have 4 dark green pieces. So, as with our previous attempts, the first thing we need to do is outline them. We will employ our trusty Scotch tape, or I'm sorry, caliber tape, in order to make sure... Oh, this is the wrong side. I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's ridged like waves. Oh yeah, you can see it pretty well. So, we flip it to cut on the nice smooth side. White glass is trying to escape me. All right, so I typically like to lay things out in a way that gives me the most space left, meaning it doesn't take up a lot of unnecessary space. This is very reflective glass. Most dark colored glass is. So I will have to be aware of such a thing. RDG. Do you guys enjoy your lo-fi? Am I making Squidward? Welcome in, Triple Splashdown. No. This is what we're crafting today. It is actually, in fact, for somebody in chat right now. One of you will be obtaining this piece in the mail at a certain point in time. And there's a good reason for that. You gave Miss A and Miss Harper quite a bit of money during the subathon, and they wanted to thank you. Yes, it is, Triple Splashdown. If you recall, the highest donating donor on the subathon receives a handmade item. This is said handmade item. Can't... Caliber tape is not very good. Do not purchase Caliber brand tape. It's a little on the frustrating side. Use scissors. I don't have any scissors in arm's reach, unfortunately. I'm pleased to hear it, Dr. Doom. You wouldn't want to put false information out there. Let's see here. Attach that just like so. See, is there a reason to go diagonal? Well, for this one, the top is flat, so I tried to get that flat edge lined up with the flat edge of the glass. And with the rest, it's sort of an effort to consolidate space, because I will have to cut like this to get that corner out. But if I go ahead and extend over here, I can just cut across like that. Exactly, Triple Splashdown. I am worried about this big piece going to mess up all of my space-saving plans. But we will burn that bridge when we come to it. We'll burn that bridge when we get there. So yes, we're going to need to set it up like that, and then just cut across straight like there. All right, one more small piece of tape should do it. And then these are kind of dark, but they're also kind of light. I really could probably get away with either marker, but just because they are a little on the darker side, I will be sticking with our paint pen friend. So as last time, you just go ahead and trace around them as best you can. I hope you enjoy my tracing stream. Comes to a point there, so we make sure that it comes to a point in our tracing. But you don't have to be too worried about the tracing, because when you remove it, you go by the interior lines. Welcome in, I'm Atron. I do hope you're doing well. Always a pleasure to see you once again, Tronathan, if you don't mind me calling you such. I understand that Lady Verity calls you Tronathan regularly. However, I am not Lady Verity. And, well, I would be upset if somebody other than Miss Harper called me some of the things Miss Harper calls me. Welcome in. Tori was trying to raid me, but there was technological difficulties. Oh, that's rough. Well, welcome in to everybody who is here. We have Triton Spear. Welcome in. Is this really the first time you've been in chat? I feel as though I know you. Well, welcome in to Triton Spear, Imatron, Silver Verity, and of course, our good friend Tori Snowfall. And Kate Lemelin, welcome in. Yes, I am, for those of you who don't know me, Callidora Lambros, also known as the daughter of Medusa. This channel, however, is not just dedicated to me. This channel is dedicated to the talents of OneWomanCorpo. There are currently 6 people who stream on this channel, and 5 more are auditioning to join our little family. For those of you who don't know me, though, I am more calm and refined and collected. We are currently working on some stained glass. This is what we're trying to craft. I am not Miss Cadence Harper. I don't personally care for aliens all that much. Indeed, one of my good friends was... Oh, I feel she'd be upset with me if I told that story again. Miss Harper's already harped on it far, far too much. But if you know, you know. Would you like me to attempt an Alamau in honor of Miss Harper? Tee-hee, she harped on it. You very funny, Backsack. Truth be told, that wasn't even intentional, but that was quite funny. Alright, I will attempt to do an Alamau in Miss Harper's style. Alamau, it's your girl, Callidora Lambros, and I am the daughter of Medusa. I hope that was agreeable. So I am concerned with the dark glass. As you can see, it's quite reflective, and I would not like it to reflect anything else. But if there is more, it seems to be mostly okay. No, not entirely. See, this is behind the glass, and now this is in front of the glass. Hello, Okami. I'm trying to figure out how to cut this without revealing anything I don't want to. I think we'll set this aside, and I'll take off my webcam in order to cut it later. If there's more light behind it, it's not so bad, but obviously I can't hold it up to the candle. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Let's move on, shall we? But first, a drink. Truth be told, triple splashdown. that is all the preparation that needs to be made before one cuts glass, is marking it. Anyway, let's move on. How about white? It's got the least amount of pieces, and I am concerned about losing them. Hello, Barebones Bran. I do hope you're doing well. You're very, very sweet. Preparing all the pieces, I see. Well, for the lighter colors, they're significantly less reflective, so I don't mind cutting them on stream. I attempted to cut my black glass over here and shattered it a little bit, so. But there was no reflection to be concerned about. Not just the one piece. I see, I see. All right, so same as last time, we're trying to consolidate as much space as we can. With this, we have this nice little handle, I guess you could call it. You feel terrible? Bare bones. Did you enjoy spending your money on manga and Jack Daniels infused chocolate? I imagine you did, otherwise you wouldn't have done it. And if you truly enjoyed it, then it's not a waste by any stretch of the imagination. As your official Oshi, I am giving you the approval of your purchases. Anyway, we can trace here. I'm just going to cut off the edge to make it a bit less unwieldy, a bit more wieldy. Can I use English in that way? Of course, I love you all very, very much. So, for this one, obviously the glass is light. The glass is light, so we're going to trace it in Sharpie. Now this is kind of an interesting shape. Goes up and in, then down and out, then in a little bit more at the end. Gotta use that later. Use what later? If you enjoyed it, it's an okay purchase. Yes, no, I'm a firm believer in that. I'm a firm believer in that. Which is probably for the best, looking at some of the things I've chosen to spend money on. Copious amounts of wine. I will say, I happen to know a winemaker. I'm sure most of you know her as well. And I drink so much wine, and yet she has never sent me any of her wine to sample. I don't understand how she could be so cruel. That is some glass on my arm. Let's go ahead and sweep up a little. All right, and again, we are first going to cut the glass unnecessarily, just to make it a little less unwieldy, and remove the things. There we are, and now we will cut out the glass properly. It's always a little difficult figuring out where to start. But we're going to start right here. She is indeed royalty. All right, so there we are. We have our scores made. I'm not sure if you can see them. A bit, perhaps. Ow, I do believe I cut my forearm, but that's neither here nor there. So typically when you break glass, you want to start with the smallest bit. I can't tell you why, but it just works better. Welcome in, GeoTWD. How are you today? I myself am doing quite well, and I hope you're doing well as well. Okay, so here it's difficult for me to hold it and get a good grip to break, so we have these pliers. They are padded, as you can tell, so hopefully. There we are, and now we just have one more break. That one's not going to break the way I want it to. I can tell. So let's take a closer look at our... we still have something up here. Doing alright, just dying, hurted, tired, stuck. That doesn't sound like you're doing alright. Is there anything I can do to assist you in your current predicament? There we are. That should cut a bit better now. Because see, our score goes all the way up to the top. And does it go all the way to the edge here? No. I'm not sure if you can tell, but the score stops about there. So there's still a little bit that is unscored. We're just gonna go ahead and get that going. Would you all like to know something disheartening? How many glass creations have I made? Let's see here. The first thing I ever made was an apple, then a turtle, then an abstract thing, then a fourth thing that I can't remember, then a fan, then... Actually, let's count them binary. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's where we're at. That was the fan. And then Jonesy. Then the commission. Is that it? Seven? Is that it? I believe 7 is the correct answer. But here we are. The disheartening information I was going to share was simply that. You may recall Miss A did a maid dress stream. She was planning on doing a karaoke segment at the tail end, but due to YouTube's draconian laws, she was unable to do so. So we were, to borrow a more modern phrase, robbed. We were robbed. Are. So for this cut right here, it's a little bit too sharp of a curve to make me feel 100% about it. So we're just going to give it a relief cut so it can break off there if it wants to instead. I think we're going to do the same down here. Just cut straight across like that. Come on. Gonna work hard and get her that DDR pad and corset for Discord streams. Oh my. Well, I do know she would very much like to do DDR pad, but I think Cadence would do the DDR stream. There are now glass shards all over the desk. I believe I heard one fall on the floor. I will step on that later. Once more, shards of glass go flying. Let's cut this bit first. All right, well, that's fine. We will retry. It's our well-cut piece. So this piece, once we have the pieces cut properly, we're going to put them in our Ziploc once more. Sounds like a whole ordeal. You have my sincere apologies. Just going to remove you all for a little bit. And search the floor for the glass. Whoops! There's the start of glass. I recovered a very small, tiny shard of tinfoil. I can't find any glass, unfortunately. I am going to try to cut the dark glass while I have you guys off my head. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, chat. I can see myself in it quite clearly, so... This is, unfortunately, a necessary evil. Oh, I do believe some glass just fell on my foot. I hope you enjoy the ASMR. I'm told that's all the rage amongst the younger generation. Ooh, that is a hefty shard of glass. I quite enjoy the noise of glass cutting, personally. But I could understand how it would upset some people. It is a very visceral sound. I do hope you guys enjoy the ASMR. Alright. I am progressing. Slowly but surely. More and more of the glass is being cut. Oh, I will say, if anybody has any literature suggestions, I am open to them. As I mentioned, I've been reading the Odyssey again, but the Odyssey can only last so long, unfortunately. Perhaps fortunately for Odysseus, but... Is this toe curling or nice? The Unbroken. I'll have to give that a shot. What's it about? Want to read some horror books. Truth be told, my favorite horror novel is in fact Haunted by one Chuck Palahniuk, made famous for his much more famous book, Fight Club. My favorite horror book is Chuck Palahniuk's Haunted. One of my favorite novels is Bram Stoker's Dracula. I would argue that it is my favorite novel, in fact. However, I would not consider it to be particularly scary, and perhaps that's due more in part to changing times, but that's just my personal opinion. All right, there is all of the darker glass cut. So we're going to take a seat and try to break it together, chat. Isn't that exciting? Let's read Dracula anyways. Truth be told, Miss Harper told me yesterday that Miss A was floating an idea about a quote-unquote live Dracula, as Dracula is a found footage novel, for those of you who aren't aware. It all takes place in like recordings or journals or that manner of thing. So here we are. The glass has been scored. All we need to do is put on our glasses. Chat, I have a question for you. How is it that I have hair in my throat when I don't grow human hair? How is that? That's upsetting, Frog, but I imagine you're probably correct, unfortunately. We did just stab ourselves. We got a little tiny boo-boo. A shard of dark green glass embedded itself in our flesh. Okay, we just need to do a little relief cut there. Don't know why there wasn't one before. It's called a Cantharos, Dr. Doom. Not a big cup. Now that is a nice clean curve right there. The age of 30 is in demand, Dr. Doom. Do I make myself clear? Oh, I didn't even need that relief cut. Look at that. Perfect. That little bit there needs to be smoothed over, but that's something we can do on the grinder. So we come over here and... There we are. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, we should start assembling a pile of properly cut pieces. That is where our pile is going to be. This scrap glass. This is actually probably trash. Throw it out. Onto the bigger part. Well, that was violent and unexpected. But that's just the way the glass crumbles, if you will. Oh. Alright. Pardon me if you didn't understand my humor, but, well, it's a bit of a subtle joke. I don't expect everybody to make the connection. Let's see. It's scored properly. Put this here. I am incredibly scared due to the curviness of this piece. Still, it seems to be coming apart well enough. However, there is so much glass on the table now. All right. A little bit more. Does anybody have any theories what this particular piece of glass is used for? Welcome home, Inspector Snake. No, it's not for killing our enemies. Here, I'll show you guys as we cut. That's gonna need some grinding. That's a rough edge, but let's... Is it this piece? Where does this go? Ah. Right there. Yes, we are, Dr. Doom. That one goes there. So yes, they'll need a little bit of grinding to fit together nicely, but we're not in bad shape. Where's the other piece? I'm going to hurt myself one of these days doing that on accident. Wonderful. So if you look on here, these two pieces should fit together nicely, which they don't. So we're gonna need to do some grinding. But that's alright. That's alright. Hasn't even been a month since what? Pardon. Since injury, I see. I have not injured myself in a while. This goes here. This little froggy arm. Just poked myself. Fair point. We need to score across the little hole here. Don't score like I do, chat. This piece, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get this right my first try. This piece is going to take some doing. I feel it. Good enough. Yeah, good enough. Okay, so for interior circles, there's actually a trick to it. Instead of just raw dogging breaking this off, what you do is you cut a bunch of minier circles on the interior in order to prevent any one break from breaking off too much. You sort of make it look like a rainbow. See? Oh, my room is starting to get warm. I put the candle on because it was cold, but... Alright. Everybody in chat who is religious, please say a prayer for me. Interior circles are notorious for difficulty. Especially considering we don't have a lot of glass opposite it, which will make it even more difficult. Well, how about that? Recent subscriber. Over Verity. Okay, so this piece is not good. Yeah, broke. Broke right there. So we'll have to recut this one. But the other dark green pieces are a success. So we'll go ahead and put them in the bag. Knew I wasn't going to get this piece right in my first try. I never do. Okay. We'll get back to this one. Typically what I like to do if I am struggling with a piece is I'll try it once, and if it breaks, I'll put it aside. And then after I'm done with every other piece, I'll come back to the pieces that I struggled with and cut them. So we're starting a little pile of those up here in the corner under our glass. Yes, how are we all doing today? I asked, but I didn't really receive any answers. Is this reflective? Not really. Yeah, we're good. So I will say, these tiny pieces are going to be the absolute worst. They're going to be so bad. The smaller a piece is, the harder it is to cut properly. Learn Live 2D, an admirable pursuit. Truth be told, Miss A is actually working on learning Live 2D as well. Or she plans to. I'm not sure if she's actually started or not. She's been quite busy. She's learning Japanese at the moment, or Nihongo if you prefer. But I don't imagine any of you are that big weebs that you prefer Nihongo to Japanese. But I could be wrong. I could always be wrong. Digital art is absolutely a pain, Dr. Doom. There is no getting around that. Truth be told, I'm envious of one of my friends, as she not only excels at digital art, but she enjoys it, which is insane to me. You have to kill ice. Oh, you have my sincere condolences, Frog God. The best way to do that would be hot air ballooning, which is in itself a circle of hell. We really don't want too much tape on these, so we're just going to use our scissors to get the smallest little strip here. You're also learning Nihongo? Heck yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to hot air balloon, Frog God. The hit massively multiplayer online game, Mabinagi, that I would not recommend to anybody with a pulse. It is a horrifying, grindy, poorly put together experience that I inflict on people occasionally. It's not good, Jetsis. Say Nexon MMO, the same people who made Maple Story. Hi, Jetsis. I hope you're doing well. Well, Frog perhaps had a pulse before he started playing Mabinagi, but I imagine Blanid robbed him of it quite quick, as that is what Blanid does. You had a burgie. I'm happy for you. I had some cereal for breakfast. I'm personally very fond of Raisin Bran. I understand it's typically seen as a boomer choice, but Snake, there's a difference between would not recommend to anybody and I would like to play this with my dear friends. They do say misery loves company, after all. And such a thing is exemplified by the game Mabinagi. You like cereal more as a dessert. I see, that's very fair. For me, it's a very economical way to get a morning meal, as I tend to eat quite a bit considering my height. So something on the cheaper end is typically what I go for. I could spend $50 US on a high-class filet mignon that will not come close to filling me, or I could buy 10 pounds of top sirloin. Sirloin's like $11 a pound here, actually. Around there. Oh, I do both, Jetsis. There are certain cereals that are better for dry snacking and certain cereals that are better for soggy consumption. For example, fresh Raisin Bran is not very good, but if you let it soak and sit for 5 minutes, if even, and it gets soggy, that is peak food experience right there. These little ones are very difficult to even trace, let alone cut out. Still, I think that works. Sorry, I know you guys don't have a great view of what I'm doing. Eesh. That's exciting, Inspector Snake. Hopefully for good reason. All right, so that is every piece except for this tiny, tiny, tiny shard. Which, to be honest, I'm going to wait on. Please don't let me forget that it exists. Actually, I'll trace it now. Oh no, Jetsis. It's quite upsetting. I trust that you won't do anything nefarious with them, however. I trust you. Let's do some cutting. They will bite you, Jetsis. I do hope you're prepared for that. I won't say it's an inevitability, but it is a strong possibility. Sweep up some of our scraps so we don't cut ourselves. It's starting to get darker in my room. We may need to cut this stream short. As it gets darker, it becomes more and more difficult for me to cut the glass. But I do have a light table made for just such an occasion that I wasn't able to set up over here, over at the proper workbench. There we are. Of course she does, Dr. Doom. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to be very happy with the song that just came up on Shuffle, which is Moonlight Densetsu. Which, for those of you who don't speak any Japanese, is Moonlight Legend, which is the opening number to the hit show Sailor Moon. Exactly, Jetsis. Sorry, when cutting complex spirals, it's actually easier to move your whole body from the hips as you cut, rather than just try and move your wrists. I'm quite fond of the noise personally, Inspector Snake, but I understand that it could be upsetting for some people. So typically, your best bet is to start with the most delicate area, as the rest of the glass being there will lend you just a bit of structural integrity. So, that's what we're gonna do. Which is, this part down here is the most delicate. I think after we finish cutting out our light greens, we will call it. And I expect each and every one of you in the Discord for Miss Cadence Harper's surprise. All right, so again, we start with the delicate part. Definitely just saw a piece of glass fall onto the floor, which I'm not super keen about, but other than that, seems to be breaking fairly well. We are. Nice smooth curve up top. There is indeed going to be a surprise. I'm not sure if she'll insult you. I'm sure she would tell you that if she insults you or not is up to how you behave. But I'm also not entirely sure how true that is. There we are. Is this entertaining for you guys? I feel as though it's a just chatting stream wearing a hat. I suppose this is how all artists feel when they draw. Very fair comparison to make, Inspector Snake. Very, very fair. Although, I'm sure Calligula would argue that you all enjoy her insults as well. Wonderful! Wonderful. Look at that. Put that in our well-cut pile. I'm not sure why, but the fact that the room is getting darker is really making me anxious. A very dangerous game, Barebones Bran. But I respect your moxie, as it were. Alas, he seems to be putting his chariot away for the day. It'll need some grinding, definitely, but it's not bad. You love games, so it's fine? Fair enough. Alright, here is what I'm most concerned of. I scored it right down the middle. Look at that. Right down the middle. Nope. Alright, where's that tiny piece? I'll have to try this one again. So it goes in the pile. In the pile. This is a straight one. That one's got a curve. Curve on the bottom. Straight across down. All right. Floor reveal, indeed. You have my apologies for such an uncouth thing, such as a floor reveal. It was not my intention. All right, we're getting there, though. Ah, that's not good. Severed the tip on that one. Let's take a look at its original form. No, we're gonna need to recut this one too. These small pieces, I'm telling you, they're awful. So awful. Alright, let's take a look at this one. Can we at least get one of these done properly? Oh, I did a cover of this song that happens to be playing in my ear right now. Yeah, that's agreeable. It needs some grinding, but that's fine. Alright, so with that, we are going to... It's on the YouTube, Jutsis. Ow, there's glass in my fingers. It is not Bakametai. Oh, I forgot about this. Let's cut this one. Perfect. There we are. So let's go ahead and assemble everything we've cut on stream today. And let's go ahead and take a look. We have our template here. Glasses out. Here we are. All right, first we have the top of the frog. Not too bad. Then we have the frog's leg. Definitely going to need some grinding. We have the top of its foot. We have its thigh, I suppose you would call it. The bottom of its leg, which is desperately going to need grinding. Possibly even recutting. No, I think we'll be able to get away with just grinding. And the littlest piece, one of his talons, because frogs have talons. This took us about an hour and a half, chat. I would like to make that clear. This took us about an hour and a half. In case you're ever wondering why stained glass is expensive, this is why. It is absurdly difficult and absurdly time-consuming. And I enjoy it quite a bit. Okay, let me just take off my headset. Ah, oh, that's so much better. All right. All right, chat. We are going to go ahead and end stream for now. Going to go ahead and end stream, and we're going to raid into Airy Channel TV, as they're a dear friend of mine. Our raid message is going, yes you did, Marine St. Leo. Our raid message is going to be Callidora Raid. Callidora Raid. Thank you very much for the follow, Triton Spear. I quite appreciate it. It means a lot to me that you'd come out and support me. So thank you. For now, I will see you guys over there. Fare thee well.